Something big just happened for Bitcoin, and there's an extremely high chance that not only is the bottom definitively in, but the pump is about to pump bigger than the largest pump you could imagine. So if you understand that things are about to get big, bigger than you could ever imagine, hit that like and subscribe. Get signed up with Femex below. No VPN or KYC required if you want to buy Bitcoin, altcoins, or trade. Without any further ado, let's take a look at potentially the most interesting, important, relevant chart that has ever existed, where you can see the M2 monetary supply is down here and Bitcoin is up here. And when we saw the M2 money supply go into banana mode, it takes a while, roughly about 2 or so months, but then Bitcoin went banana mode. But then we saw the money supply get banged, and then, as you can see, Bitcoin, about 2 months later, got banged. But as you can see, for a decent amount of time now, the M2 money supply hasn't been going banana mode. It's been going complete and absolute banana mode. And here we are, setting up right now, testing right on the 21-week moving average where we so far are holding. Things are potentially about to get even more banana mode than you could ever imagine. Okay, we have a banana to banana, we have getting banged to getting banged, and soon we're about to see the biggest banana zone that we could ever imagine. So we actually also did get some decent news, and we're going to be jumping, potentially even dumping into it right now. The Federal Reserve absolutely ready to help stabilize the market if needed, according to top officials. We see Jerome Powell saying that it's absolutely ready to help stabilize these markets. Now, that's pretty good. But we also see the White House saying that gold reserves can be used to purchase Bitcoin. So that potentially could make things even more bullish than you were imagining. We see as well the global M2 signaling Bitcoin surge to, I think, honestly, over all-time highs. So significantly, I think, over 115,000 by the end of Q2. Keep in mind, this specifically is about a roughly about a 2 or so month delay or lag. We just started Q2, so we have about 3 months left pretty much of Q2. We could see Bitcoin surpass all-time highs significantly and beyond, significantly before the end of Q2, which would be the end of June. Likely we could see, this is what's the craziest thing. We're not super far off all-time highs, and when Bitcoin makes those big moves, it happens very fast. We could see a new all-time high for Bitcoin this month. We still have like 3 weeks left of this month. It would not be shocking or surprising to see actually, let's take a look at how big of a move Bitcoin would actually need to get back to all-time highs. It's about a 30% pump. We've routinely seen Bitcoin pump 10, 15, 20% in a single day during its biggest explosions, right? I mean, right here, for example, in November, we saw this move. This was about a 30% pump this was about a week. But that was the most recent, biggest move. But we've seen, for example, even this one was way bigger. This was back in early 2024. There's plenty of examples of it. But either way, I think if you blink, you could miss a return to at least 100K, which would look like this on the chart. That's about a 15, 16% move. We could be at a 15% or coming up on a 15% pump any day, realistically. We're right now right underneath the 21-day moving average, but trying to get back above it. Really for the first time since losing it back in the very, very, very beginning of February, like the second day of February is when we really lost it. We've had a couple of attempts trying to get above it. All of them are very weak and failed, and we barely got daily closes. This was the longest amount of time back towards the end of March, was the longest that we had actually above it. But you can see that it struggled and it barely got above, and it just faced rejection after rejection. And we have not been above $100,000 per Bitcoin since February 2nd, since we fell below the 21-week moving average. So this entire time, we've been below $100,000 per Bitcoin. Getting back above that's like the next major step. And I think, my opinion, is next time we get back above 100K absolutely will be like the floor of the rest of the bull market. Meaning if we get any more pullbacks, that'll be like a definitive floor in my opinion. But we also see that Bitcoin is bouncing off of a massive just general support level as well. Last time it happened, we did have a massive pump for Bitcoin, as you can see back here. So that's pretty big. And we also see that Bitcoin is pushing towards the downtrend line once again. You can see coming right up to this for the very first time in months again, really since we got below 100K. And as well, Kenny Florian just saying, I have a feeling that people all over the world are about to wake up and find out why Bitcoin is important technology. Unfortunately, a lot of people will be observing from the sidelines. And I truly think the next 12 months are about to be insane. I think we have a chance of the next 2 months being one of the most explosive periods of the market. Usually, the most explosive periods tend to happen when a lot of people are sidelined and uninterested, and people are uninterested right now. Like a lot of people are sidelined. A lot of people, I can tell by a million things. One of them being social metrics. Everybody's social metrics are lower. That's honestly been a very good very historically accurate way to gauge sentiment, is just looking at how many people are engaging with content and how many people are engaging on social media. That's an amazing it's an amazing metric, honestly, because it's very easy. When people are excited and the price is up, they're engaging more, they're participating, they're leaving comments, they're just getting engaged. And when things are boring, the opposite. They don't really care. They zone out and they do other things, rightfully so. They probably shouldn't be staring at things when we're going sideways for months and months. But the social metric is down. Everything is very low. I don't have to prove to anyone that people aren't interested in Bitcoin right now. I think everyone knows that. Everyone agrees that Bitcoin's kind of boring right now. But as we're right now, as I just said, right on the 21-week moving average, having our first break above the 21-day moving average in quite a long time, as we're also right now bouncing on the 21-week moving average, and we are very confidently, I mean, this really started going up back in January, so about 3 months ago, right in line with like the lag of when we should expect Bitcoin to start benefiting from the M2 money supply increase. We should expect Bitcoin to be going into the Giga Banana Zone very soon. We also see that if you look at a weekly chart, we see the MACD, again, curling over a little bit, RSI as well. We see hidden bullish divergence as well, even on the daily chart with Bitcoin, with the RSI and MACD as well. S&P, after having a massive drop below its 21-week moving average here, trying to get back up to it, which is around 50, let's round up and call it about 5,700 on the SPX. But we've also had a pretty nice, so far, weekly candle, up about 12% from the low here. As you can see on the daily chart, this is the daily chart even better. You can see, I mean, over the last few days, kind of going up a little bit. The DXY, the dollar is crashing. Look at this. As I've been saying this for months, consistently, that I thought the DXY had topped out, and this is continuing this way, breaking below. It's actually a pretty significant level that it's breaking below right now, below 100. Currently, it's right at about 100. Breaking below that's very bearish for the DXY, bullish for risk on assets, bullish for Bitcoin, bullish for the S&P, bullish for tech stocks pretty much. If you look at the S&P as well, I mean, it as well, the MACD and RSI look like it want to shift into a more positive trajectory after really flipping negative back in February. So we've had a solid 2 months of Bitcoin and the stock market really not doing well, getting banged up a lot. But we're seeing momentum really start to shift on longer term charts like the weekly, but also the daily as well. I mean, if we look at Bitcoin's daily chart, this is the very first green we've seen. And look at this bottom, by the way, back in the end of February, beginning of March. Look how oversold this MACD got, as well as the RSI. Everything has completely reset. Everything has completely reset to where we could expect one of those 15, 20, 30% moves in a week for Bitcoin, and it wouldn't even get anywhere close to being overbought, right? I think we're in a really good position here. It's been very painful watching these markets, but overall, there's a really nice setup happening right now overall. And I think the biggest chart, honestly, is just watching, and it's the simplest too, just watching Bitcoin with the current money supply. When money supply goes up, Bitcoin does go up. It takes a little bit. It's not immediate. As we said, it can take a couple months even, but it has been a couple months now since we started going up. So I fully expect Bitcoin likely to start going up pretty soon. You get started with FMX Blow for my Bitcoin, altcoin, or trade. No KYC or VPN required if you use my link. Without further ado,